But through the process of deprivation or degeneration, which means loss or going down, we are now here. So it's something like that. Again, very interestingly in psychology, there is a very interesting concept, the so-called channel capacity, which means we have our capacity, mental power. And there is one related word called sympathy group. Sympathy group is something like this. Asking people, okay, write down the names of people if their death would be devastating. You cannot bear that kind of a strong sadness because of somebody's death. That is the sympathy group. Interestingly, people usually are very fast to 6 or 7 because they are usually their own family members and go a little further, but average is around the 12. They stop around the 12. Which means we can give our love, our concern to roughly about 12 people. If we go further, it's like a spreading thin, you know. So our affection becomes, smaller, and it's more difficult for us to maintain. But who is God? God's love is infinite, endless love. Which means we originally had that capacity, but because of the degeneration or deprivation, we became very narrowly focused people, very egotistic people. We only primarily think about our family and just a little more. And in other words, if we want to sanctify ourselves, that process is the attention scope re-expansion. In other words, we try to show our concern, our love to more people than our in-group. Now, challenges today. My challenge to myself would be, where's my fruit? But at the same time, God is challenging me, where's your fruit? This is a deeply humbling and terrifying question. This is deeply humbling when we consider heretic evangelizers out there. Like we have several so-called churches around here who have heretic beliefs. But they are very diligent workers, trying to bear their fruit. There are heretic volunteer workers who are very devoted, trying to help others. And there are non-Christian philanthropists who are giving lots and lots of money for the good of others. But here, there is a danger of abstraction. Abstract challenges or abstract resolutions are usually not carrying any forces. So, interestingly, probably the best intent, but the weakest force is in I'll be a good person. Because good person is so abstract, it is hard to accomplish. How can you accomplish to be a good person? About 15 years ago, I saw one sentence, and that changed my life a lot. That is something like this. There are two kinds of dreams: the dreams that come true and dreams that do not come true. But there is only one difference between them. The dreams that come true has deadlines and a little bit of a planning. And actually, from that moment, I decided, okay, I will accomplish this. And then I developed my habit of setting some deadlines. Okay, By this time I'll do this, by this time I'll do that, and so on. If somebody says, I'll be like a Bill Gates, I'll be a good diplomat, but that's very abstract and it does not have force. But if somebody says, okay, I'll be a good diplomat, so I'll be proficient in 3 languages. And for Chinese, by May 2016, I will pass the exam for HSK level 4. And for French, by October 2017, I will pass DELF level 2, and so on, you know. And I will take such and such courses, and then I will get certain grades, and all these are related to setting up certain plans according to the deadline. And from my own experience, that is very helpful. So, we need to narrow down in time, in space, and in scope. So if we revise our challenges, it's going to be something like this. Where's my fruit today? And who benefited from my fruit? Who are they? What exactly did I do today? These are very strong challenges. The same thing, but carrying a lot of forces. What exactly is it that I am doing here and now? Yeah, these are all revised challenges. Incidentally, does the environment or circumstance matter? We often think that, oh, my circumstances are different from that person. But let's consider, who's the orchard keeper? He's our God, the Almighty. And whatever we have now as our circumstances, that should be the best fitting for us. And there's a fruit-bearing command, and at the same time there's a warning attached to it. And this is most terrifying warning. When I was a high schooler, reading this verse, I was really scared. It shows, it goes like this in Luke 13:7. This is about the orchard keeper. He says, for 3 years now, I have been coming to look for fruit on this fig tree and haven't found any. Cut it down. Why should it use up the soil? In Korean it says, 어찌 땅만 버리느냐? Why should it use up the soil? So, well, if something is just idly sitting there, it's not doing, it's not just not doing anything, but it's doing something that is using up the soil. All the nutrition from the soil is being sucked up by this useless tree. And then that's not a good thing for from the viewpoint of the orchard keeper. So, if we are not fruit bearers, we are wasting food and producing trash. Average lifetime food consumption per person, of course it depends on the length of our life and of course according to our appetite, but it's about 35 tons average. That is 1 ton truck, 35 truckload of food we are consuming our lifetime. Of course, some people will eat a little less. Some people will eat twice as much, maybe. Yeah. But average lifetime trash or garbage per person, amazing, 102 tons. So, in other words, if we are not bearing fruit, we are consuming about 35 tons of food, but producing about 102 tons of garbage and trash throughout our lifetime. So what a waste, what a waste, what a loss. So consequences, there's no good tree with no fruit. It's using up the soil just for itself. So the consequence is it will be thrown into the fire. Probably, if it's thrown into the fire, into somebody's stove, then maybe it's the last